Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of QuattroQuattroDos. Once again, I am your boy Cristian, as you can tell, and because I am the same person as always. But in this episode, I'll probably need a haircut, and I'll probably need to shave a little bit. But if you are listening on the thing, you can always find me under Cris Podaleas on Instagram, Twitter, and QuattroQuattroDos. If you're watching, of course, it should be on the bottom here of the screen for you. And today we're gonna talk a little different topics. I'm not gonna do any game reviews because I think you guys already have seen or have commented about it a lot, and I don't think anybody wants to hear me talk about the game anymore. But actually, I'm going to be talking about the games because obviously this is what the podcast is about. It's about soccer, it's about the games, about the Houston Dynamo, basically. Before we do anything, shout out to the Houston Dash, finishing second in their respective on the Shield, Verizon Shield, whatever it's called. And they ended up first in the South and second total, 1 point away from Portland. So shout out to them. Obviously, they are the best team probably in Houston at the moment. On top of the Astros, on top of the Rockets, on top of the Texans, and of course on top of the Dynamo. So shout out to the ladies, always leaving up the H-Town up high. And also there's a few players called up to the national team. So shout out to them. Campbell, Mewis, I think Groom also got called up, and Rachel Daly got called up to England. So shout out to them. Now let's get to the Dynamo. A few talking points. If we started the episode by listening to a little bit of Mauro Manotas and a little bit of Tav Ramos. Obviously, it was in Spanish. And if you didn't even notice, that's good because that means you're bilingual and you understand. But basically, what they were talking about, or the questions that actually, both questions came from me, and they were the same thing. I asked them the same thing. And this was previous the press conference before the Minnesota game, after Nashville, before Minnesota. And basically, my question for them was, what is the message to the fans? Because after Nashville, of course, as is of true nature of most Dynamo fans, not all of them, there was a lot of name calling and a lot of bashing, a lot of shit calling on the team, and this and that. The typical I am a Houston Dynamo fan and I think I know better type thing. Yeah, and I know that probably this doesn't make me popular because a lot of people, I read most of the comments on Reddit, on Twitter, and Facebook and all that, and a lot of people are very, very negative, which is understandable. I'm not stupid. I understand the team doesn't win. Therefore, you want a winning team, which is the most basic thing, right? If you have a team, you want to win, right? But also, I think a lot of people do not understand that this is a fucking sport, and this is soccer, and this is how it goes sometimes. Sometimes the fucking better team doesn't win, and I'll probably be cursing a lot because I get agitated. But hopefully you guys are okay with that. But if you listen to any of my episodes, you know that I get like this. So it's all Gucci and the Hoochie. Also, shout out to Federico and Todo Dynamo. He just put a little snippet, a 10-minute episode rant thing on his show that he does. A very cool show for Spanish speakers. I think he's also going to start doing English stuff, so that's going to be interesting. Very knowledgeable guy, in my opinion, about the sport as well. And he always has really cool guests on his shows. And he's talking about basically what I'm going to kind of talk about today, but, he's a little bit nicer, so I might curse a little bit more. But basically, go listen to him. His rant was like 10 minutes. Mine will be probably not longer, but I'm going to try to break a couple things down maybe in my way, the way that I like to do it, I guess. But basically, let's talk about player effort for a little bit. Let's talk about the first thing. In the game against Nashville, I know a lot of you guys weren't able to make it to the stadium because the capacity is 3,000, and if I'm not mistaken, there was only like 1,500 people in the stadium. to the final numbers. Let me see if this is it. Yeah, so I got the Nashville page here, and there was an attendance of 1,300 or 1,328 people at the stadium, and we dominated the game. I think everybody knows that. So this is the thing. Let's go ahead and get started. Player effort. When it comes to Nashville, we saw that some players played shittier than others. But I think overall, like if you look at the game at 90 minutes, yes, we did have a shitty 20 minutes in the beginning, 20-25. And it's understandable, but also if you look at the actual 25 minutes, they weren't that bad in a soccer like playing way. I think the Houston Dynamo this year has proven to be a better team, believe it or not. I know the results don't show that, and I know homeboy Ray from he has a show from the Valley. I'm blanking on this name right now, but he's over there, and he posted a comment or a tweet. It was like a phrase that talked about some coach that basically said, your team is what your results are, basically. So basically, not him saying it, but kind of implying that obviously the team is shit because we have shitty results, which, like I said in the beginning, it's completely understandable. You want a winning team. That's what you want your team to win always. I mean, if you're competitive, like myself, I mean, obviously, who wants to watch a team just lose? I don't, honestly. But also, I am considerate enough, I guess I can say that in a way. Or, I'm not going to say that I'm smart enough, but I think I understand the game enough to understand that sometimes the better team doesn't win. And unfortunately, I think we have been lacking that. And I think we have been the better team overall. But I think we are lacking in some specific areas that I think everybody is aware. And I think we saw it against the Minnesota game. The fact that Kiki Struna did not start, I think it is a big statement in a way, because he is not injured. He doesn't have any accumulations of yellow cards. There is no reason for our starter and one of our best paid players of our team to sit out. Especially for Cabrera, who is, I'm not saying he's bad. He has actually been really, really good the times that he had to play. But Cabrera tends to be a player that, unfortunately, even though he's really good, he gets injured a lot. And it's not like super viable, if that's the word, to have him in the field at all times. I mean, honestly, in this game, he had to get out. In the beginning, I thought it was because of a tactical change, and because it kind of seemed like that, because we were attacking more, because we were down, which made complete sense. Just leave three in the back, with Valentin, Figueroa, and this kid, Lundy, and then just bring in Flecha, Jose Bizama on the right, just to play like as a winger, not like as a right back, basically, which made complete sense. Have one more guy to put corners in, to put crosses in. But it seems like he actually but in the press conference after the game, Tab Ramos mentioned that he was cramping, so he kind of had to take him out in a way. So maybe it was a combination of both. Maybe it was tactical and also the fact that he was cramping. But also you see that he's not a 90-minute player, and to have him start above Kiki Struna shows us that Tab Ramos actually after the Nashville game talked about how he had to sit down and look at player performance himself and actually decide who's going to play and who's not going to play. He actually said that out loud. I think people didn't want to ask him out of respect, because who's going to ask him, hey, so who are you going to take out? Basically, you can't start telling the coach, hey, basically tell him how to do his job, basically. So nobody actually mentioned it, but everybody caught on to the fact that he said he was going to look into play performance. And then, in this press conference before the Minnesota game, he talked about how all the players had a meeting on Wednesday night. No, not Wednesday, because we play Wednesday. But on Friday night or Thursday night or Friday, they got together and they talked. Basically, they talked about their performance, and they talked about how shitty they've been playing, or not playing as a whole, but the shitty moves that they did to concede goals, and how being in positions to get scored on, can throw off the game. I mean, Nashville game, 3 goals in 25 minutes. Basically, your game was ended in 25 minutes. And, now you have like an uphill battle trying to get 3 goals in just to get a tie, just to get 1 point at home. And I'm pretty glad that, Tab Ramos is really open to the media and open to everybody to hear and to see that, this is going on. People are getting together. He's holding the players accountable for their performance. And in this case, he's sitting Kiki Struna, out. And it's great. And I don't think a lot of the fans know this because I haven't heard any other media member mention it. But, I'm mentioning it now. But I think Tab Ramos is doing a great job. And not only making the team play better, because honestly, if you think we are playing like shit, you need to check yourself, and you actually need to watch the goddamn games, because we are dominating. 9 out of 10 games we have dominated. I mean, that's just like a number, right? But basically saying almost every game we have dominated. All these games that we have had, yes, maybe we have tied and we have lost, but they weren't out of non-dominance. They were out of mistakes. They were out of carelessness. They were out of just plain stupidity in some instances. And then just lack of discipline, I guess. Sometimes like you're just players that didn't want to run back and just kind of like forced a stupid play or something like that. And loose a dumb ball in the middle and, gave them a counter or something like that. But I think Tab Ramos is doing a great job in having a team that plays great. Believe it or not, they're playing great. They're dominating teams like Kansas City. They're outplaying teams like Minnesota in Minnesota. Yes, I know we were down, but I think we overplayed them most of the game. And he's holding players accountable, and it is what it is. I mean, even Seren said, he was like, hey, it was a tactical against Nashville. It came out minute 25, and it wasn't because I was hurt. It was because it was a tactical thing, and I am completely 100% behind the coach. And if he has to take me out, even though I'm a great player, because honestly, Seren has been one of our best players, it is what it is. And also, I see it on the players. If you heard the Manotas clip, Manotas talked about how the players are giving their all. Like they are fighting. I think more than others. Some more than others. But you can see the frustration. For example, against Nashville, like I said, some of you guys weren't able to, be at the stadium. And actually watch this happen. But whenever Adam came out with Lassiter in the second half, I believe that Tab took him out, and he switched him out. I think he switched out Adam for Junqua and Lassiter for Nico Hansen, I believe. Both of them, they were extremely pissed off. Adam was super mad. Lassiter was extremely mad, and it was because I think personally, they knew that they weren't getting the job done, and they weren't getting the ball through. They weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. And I think, they know this. We think they don't know that they are playing like shit. They're not stupid. They're professional players, and yes, I understand. Some people argue and talk shit. And I'm going to get to that because I think there's only one specific group of people that can only talk shit the way that they talk shit because they actually back it up. But like I was saying, Adam and Lassiter, they understood that they have been playing like shit. They understood that they weren't getting the job done. And whenever they came out, they were extremely mad. They were pissed off, throwing shit around. And yes, they acted like kids. And actually, I was kind of pissed off at the fact that when Kiki Struna actually came out in the second half, Kiki Struna, if I'm not mistaken, and Lassiter, at the end of the game, they went strictly to the dressing room. And Adam was actually the only player. Well, actually, there was other players, but he was the first player that, whenever the game finished, which I respect Lundy a lot for this, was the first player to get up. And even though all the players were thanking the supporter groups, specifically El Batallón, to be honest. And I know that some of the Surge guys are there, and some of the Texan Army, and some of the Bandera Negra, but obviously, I think, let's be honest, the El Batallón brings like the party to just the music basically. But let's just put it all as a whole, right? So let's say the Hustle Town supporter or whatever. Adam was the first one to actually come out of that circle and actually walk all the way to the goal, closest to the where the fans are, and just give them like a thank you, basically. Thank you for supporting us, even though we play like shit, even though you guys are singing, even though you guys are chanting for 90 plus minutes, and you guys are there for us. Sorry we let you down, and I really respect that from Lundy, and like in a human aspect, in an aspect of a player thanking his own people for supporting them. So shout out to Lundy for that. I think, and also the same way that, I congratulate Adam, I want to say, Lassiter had a poor reaction and he just walked off like a little child. And I completely understand he played a shitty game, and also Kiki did the same thing. Towel around their head, like their mom told them something, and they got pissed off. And I hope they learn, and I hope they did. But it's frustrations, and I know it happens. But also at the end of the day, you have to understand that if it wasn't for your fans, you wouldn't be there. And then Sereno also was really, really pissed off, and he, even though he completely understood, he knew that he could have done more. And it is what it is, and he's a true professional. He said it. He even said it on his Twitter. He was like, I know it was a tactical thing. Coming out, I'm happy. I support the team. I support the coach, and I'll come out next time. And fuck, against Minnesota, he was the best player in our team, and he killed it. He created chances. He was the one that created the first goal for us, basically. And he was out there. He was putting his balls out there for everybody to fucking see that he's here to stay, basically. And it's funny because even till last year he was like a sub, and now he's an undisputed starting 11. Like, you can't think twice about having Serena and Vera in the midfield. So that's for that. I'm not gonna get in the whole Tomas Martinez thing coming in. I think we all have the same idea. He came in a game with 3-0. I think he actually mentioned, Tab Ramo mentions it, that Tomas Martinez was supposed to come in at the 1-0 mark, and then obviously when he went to go warm up, they scored 2 more. So that was what it was. I don't know why he kept them in, or like he decided to keep that change going. I would have put some other player, but like at the end of the day, that's not my job. What else? And then, okay, so the only person, let's get into the second subject. So that was player effort. And I think personally, the only player that can actually talk shit about players, me personally, is the actual supporters. Like, for example, El Batallón, that was tweeting while the game was going, and basically they were saying, fucking A, bro. Like, you guys are professionals. You guys are supposed to be representing our city. Like, we literally, blood, sweat, and tears are put into, into us being in the fucking stands for 90 minutes, putting our money, bringing our flags, putting in, the fiesta in the fucking house, to make it a party, basically, for you guys and supporting you guys 90 plus minutes, home or away. Even when the games were closed doors, the dudes will show up outside of the stadium and bring in like a makeshift TV, and like I've seen it, and they brought a TV and they would bring smoke bombs, and like it was 10 dudes drinking beer outside of the stadium chanting for 90 minutes, even though they couldn't go in, just to show their support for the blue and orange, Jesus Christ, for the black and orange, or the orange and black, or whatever. I mean, those are true fans. True fans are the ones that are gonna put their money where their mouth is. And a lot of people are talking shit, and they do the opposite. They take their money out, which is completely understandable. I understand, you want to pay for a winning team. And I will whatever that word is, where you repeat stuff, or reiterate, whatever. I can't say it. I'm going to repeat myself. If you want to be a fan of a winning team, become a Seattle Sounders fan. Become a fucking Toronto fan. Become a Portland fan. You want a soccer culture in Houston? And Federico was saying, like, the whole point is that a lot of people, they get mad because Houston is not a soccer city. Well, no shit. First of all, we're in the fucking south of Texas, where football is king. So, first of all, like, high school football is fucking brings more people to stadiums than soccer. So, like, first of all, let's get that through our heads. Like, baseball, it's gonna, be over. Like, we're literally across the street from our stadium. I know we are, like, the most diverse city in the United States and all that. We have a large Hispanic population, and even African people that love soccer, and even European people that love soccer, Asian people that love soccer, from everywhere, right? All over the world. And we can, like, create a soccer culture. And I've been talking to different guys. I've talked to the guys from Dynamo Fans for Change, and they're all on board in creating a culture. And, like, I'm trying myself too. Like, that's why I'm doing a podcast, and that's why I try to create video and content, and shitty content, but it's content, at the least, to put some soccer out there in the city. But then you have people that are like, well, I'm not gonna support a team that loses every game, and and this, and it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Either support or don't support. Stop fucking complaining. We all complain. We all know that, it sucks to suck. But just stop being a bitch. Like, support, if you're going to support. And yes, be critical of the team and say, man, we played a terrible game. And we know, like, when you played a bad game. But you can't talk shit when the team is fucking fighting for 90 minutes. And I know we went down early, and I know we made mistakes. And Tab Ramos is actually doing shit. He sat out Kiki. Like, Kiki Struna, he's on the fucking bench. Like, and also you have to understand, our owners don't give a fuck. And you know this, I know this, everybody know this. They don't put their money out there, of course. But this is the United States of America. The United States of America is not a soccer country. It's not. Like, it's a money country. Therefore, it's all about money. It's capitalism. It's like money, and, like, can you buy, like, that's why we don't have promotion relegation. Like, the only reason we don't have promotion relegation is because of money. The only reason. Because people will lose a lot of money if their teams will go down. And I tell people, and I would be the first one to say, that the Dynamo will probably be relegated in the first 5 seasons. And I am okay with that. You know why? Because I am a fucking supporter of the Houston Dynamo. And I will support the Dynamo, win or lose. Suck or be a fucking champion. Like, and that's what people don't understand. Like, you want a winning team, but it's just part of your culture. You're part, like, the culture in this country is to fucking win. USA, back-to-back world champions. Like, yes, I understand it's all about winning, but it's because it's all about money. Winning brings money, and money brings shit to this country. And that's why we can't get a soccer culture, because soccer culture is equal to passion, and passion for the team, passion for the colors, not passion for the results, my guy. Like, if you're going to be a fan of results, then become a fucking, become a Lakers fan. I don't know, like, do like what those people do. They become fans of all the teams that are winning. Like, do that. But if you're going to be a fan, be a fan. And a lot of people are like, well, I've been a fan since the beginning, and And yeah, and well, no shit. In the beginning, it was easy to be a fan because we were winning. Like, who's not gonna be a fan when you win? Dumbass. Like, I'm gonna be a fan too. But unfortunately for me, I became a fan in like 2016, and when we were shit, and like we started to go down shit, and maybe it was because of my fault. Like, maybe I became a fan in the team and decided to go shit. And like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know what else to say. Like, it's just, I feel like every episode that I do a podcast, it's the same thing over and over again. Like, I keep telling you, like, stop complaining. And I know I'm not going to change this, and I'm probably going to do this the next episode because people just don't understand. And, like, people hate, like, they love to fucking complain. And it's funny because every time I hear people complaining, and I see people complaining on Twitter and on Reddit, and, like, it's funny because none of them, first of all, none of them, 99.999% of them don't show their face, first of all. They don't fucking put their name out there, second of all. So they're like a random ass, like, picture in random ass name, like, because you're too, I mean, I'm gonna say you're too much of a pussy to put your own self out there. You know, I put my fucking, like, my whole family knows about this. Like, I am a Boca fan, and, like, people tell me, why don't you, like, do podcasts about Boca Juniors? Because it's fucking easy to do a fucking podcast about a winning team, and it's easy to support a team that fucking wins every fucking year. But do something difficult for once. Support a team even if they're not winning. Like, just do it. Just do it out of passion. You say you have passion? Just because you have a fucking, just because you buy the jerseys or you're a season ticket holder? Like, if you're not going to be a fan, just take your money and go away, bud. Like, nobody's holding you hostage. Like, take your money. Yeah, you earned it. Hard-earned money. You work for it. Don't be a fan. Take it away. Don't give it to this organization. And if you're not giving money, shut the fuck up because you're not investing anything. And if you are an investor, yes, complain, but also understand this is soccer. This is a sport. This is a fucking game. You win, you lose. And even Bielsa said it. Bielsa, the fucking, now he's like the god of soccer nowadays, which he's always been, but now we see him because he's in the Premier League. He even said, sometimes the best team doesn't win. And we are seeing this. I'm not saying the Houston Dynamo is the best team in the MLS, but all I'm saying is that we have been outplaying almost every game that we have played. And if you think I'm lying, then you're tripping. Like, you are seriously tripping because against Nashville, we dominated. We played beautiful soccer. The ball doesn't just go in. And it's because of mistakes. It's because we want to go in with the fucking ball inside of the net. Like, no, you're not Quinteros. You're not going to go in with the ball, like, inside of the goddamn goal. Take a shot. Like, I said that throughout the whole Minnesota game. If you go into my IG, the QuattroQuattroDos Instagram, in the halftime, I went on live and I said, take shots, take shots, take shots. What did we do? We took like 2 shots and we scored. I mean, easy, right? Easy. Yeah, well, of course, it's easy for me to say it, but you can see there's some things tactically that need to change. But it's not that we're playing bad. It's just that we're making mistakes, and mistakes can be fixed. And yes, we're not getting results, but like Federico was saying, whenever we win, oh, we got lucky. And whenever we lose and we tie, oh, fucking worst team in the world. It's like, no, bro. Like, it could be worse. You could be Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you could live in Dallas. You could be a Mavericks fan. You could be a Cowboys fan. Like, Jesus Christ. That's the worst thing ever. You could be a Texas Rangers fan. Jesus. You know, like, there's worse things out there, you know? But no. You decide to, just because you once bought a ticket and you once bought a jersey and you live in Houston, you think you have, like, and like this guy said, Drake, you know, now I'm quoting Drake. That's how crazy it is. He says, trigger fingers now turn into Twitter fingers, which is basically what's going on. People now, because they have the option or the availability to put their opinion out there. They put their opinion out there, and nobody cares. Like, really, nobody cares. Like, why would you go into the Houston Dynamo page and comment like, "Oh, you guys are shit"? Shut the fuck up. Like, nobody wants to hear you comment, bro. Leave the people, like, let them be, man. Like, stop. Like, you act like you commenting on the Houston Dynamo Twitter page is gonna go directly to Gabriel Brenner, or you think Oscar de la Hoya is like, "Oh shit, they said I suck." He doesn't give a fuck. He's probably wearing high heels somewhere. Like, he doesn't care. Like, you see what I'm saying? And then also, let's talk about the logo before I retire to my bed because I'm tired of shit. So The Athletic, Jeff, whatever his name is, from The Athletic, and a bunch of other people from The Athletic, which great stuff. I don't read a lot of their stuff just because it's long as shit, and I'm a terrible reader. But it's very interesting, the stuff that I do read, to be honest. So if you don't have a subscription, I actually got mine for free because if you're a T-Mobile person, on Tuesdays they give you free stuff. So it's an app. And for like a couple months ago, I think they were giving out free subscriptions for a year for The Athletic. So I got mine. But if not, I think it's like $30 or $60. I'm not sure. But it's actually worth it because they have really good content. So yeah, and also to read their stuff, you actually have to pay. So it's behind a paywall. So it is what it is. This is the world that we live in. You know, you create stuff, and sometimes people have to pay for it because it's good. And then they leaked what it would be the new logo. So this one is gonna be dead soon. The little Dynamo triangle, upside down triangle, you know, kind of clip art ish. But you know, I kind of grown to love it. Like, you know, it's your crest, you know. Some people have it tattooed on them, so it's crazy. I actually wanted to get tattooed too. But before I have to get other tattoos, before I get the Dynamo tattoo, first I gotta get my Boca Juniors tattoo, because, you know, priorities. Like I was saying, yeah, it actually doesn't look that bad. Honestly, a lot of people have been complaining because they have fucking Twitters. They have phones now, so everybody gets to complain about everything. And everything translates to like, we are a shitty team. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Because we have a shitty logo doesn't mean we have a shitty team. Because this has like people, can you be more use your common sense? Jesus Christ. And it's a logo. Stop making a big deal about a logo. Like, who cares about a logo? Like come on, dude. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's just a logo, you know? Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. Move on, bro. Like I tell my wife, go to school, become an engineer, build a bridge, get over it. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, it's actually, well, I like it. It's dope. In the beginning, I was like, I don't know. Just because change is hard and it's understandable. But I think now I'm kind of growing into it. So we'll see what happens. It's not for sure now. Nobody has said anything. The Dynamo's actually pretty quiet about it. And actually today, the day of today's Monday, there was some news came out that there was a potential inquiry. I don't know how to say that word. Some people were inquiring to buy the Dynamo. One of them was A-Rod, the baseball player guy. The guy is married to J-Lo. And the guy that was the GM for the Houston Astros. I don't know his name. I know his first name is Jeff. The last name is an L. He is actually the GM that was in charge of the Astros whenever the cheating stuff was going on. So, shout out to the Astros. Almost made it. But yeah, other than that, I got nothing else to say. 35 minutes of me just going off and calling you a bunch of dumbasses. So if you get offended, I don't care. Because obviously it was for you. And if you don't get offended, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Another episode of QuattroQuattroDos. I was actually starting to do the anatomy of a goal, and I did one until I realized that I wasn't recording. So I'm probably going to do this again tomorrow. I'm already kind of tired. I have to put this one out, kind of edit it a little bit, and throw it out there for you to listen. So shout out to y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for I would say let me know what you think, but honestly, like, I don't know if I care, but actually I do care. But you know, it's a good conversation starter. So if you have any difference of opinion, let me know. I would love to talk to you, maybe someday. So later, see you guys. Deuces.